welcome to a new video. This one is going to be about faction and base defense. Now, the question of this video is going to be, is it possible or is it viable to have a one faction base defense? I do get that question quite often, and every time my idea is a big flipping no. It is not possible. But due to some recent changes, maybe it might be. We will have to get into that more deeper and further on. But so before we start, let us look at the factions. Now, a lot of people still they doubt about factions, or they don't really fully know what it's about or anything. Doesn't matter. There's three factions: Sentinels, Corpus, Survivors. So let's start with Survivors. Every faction has a perk. Okay, so for the Survivors, it's Warlust and it's Loyalty. Now, Loyalty most factions have, and it just does 10% reduced damage to your units. That's it. Now, Warlust is specific to Survivor, and it deals more damage the more people die in a battle. So units of any type, it doesn't even matter which people, it can be the enemy's people as well. As long as there's units that die on the battle, they get the bonus, and it can be capped to 100% extra damage, which is basically double damage. So Warlust is really good. It's super powerful. It's number one why you would be Survivor. Now let's check Corpus. They also have the Loyalty badge, also 10% reduced damage. Their extra is Adaptive Defenses, so they get extra defensive boosts, meaning that each shot every unit can do can only take off 15% of the health. So for example, if an Absolver is standing right next to them, he will only hit them for 15% damage with one shot. Can't do more than that. The best way to defeat Corpus is always going to be sustain damage, because you know it's just like a rifle going off. It's a million shots. So that's the specialty of Corpus. Now, Sentinels, they also got the Loyalty, and their specific is Devotion. So when you got your Sentinel units, they are immune to all negative stated effects, meaning you cannot concuss them, you cannot shock them, you cannot, I don't know, whatever negative stated effect people have, they won't do anything against Sentinels. That's why in attack they're pretty useful, because sometimes people have Devouts in their towers with concuss grenades, and yeah, your units will get concussed. So that's the specific of Sentinel. So these are the factions. I definitely urge everyone to just pick a faction, whatever you feel like. Corpus right now, at this moment, Corpus is the weakest. Survivor is so good with the Warlust, and Sentinels is very good in PvP attack. That's just very roughly what it's at right now. The day is, I don't know, 8th of December, so just so you know right now. You can also go for neutral. Yeah, it doesn't gain anything special, so I think this will be very silly to do. Okay, so part one is done. We talked about the factions. Now let's think about this. Yes, so in the beginning you would think Corpus is obviously going to be the best when it comes to defensive, because you know the 15% cap damage for one shot. And in the beginning that was 100% true. So you had Drakons in the towers, and then you had Phalanx in your defense, and your base was very strong. You could have easily made it 100% Corpus, and it was so strong. But now that is just not true anymore. So yeah, let's just maybe look at some factions and see what units we will want to use. So for base defense, Screamer is probably going to be a must unit, and he is Survivor. So Screamer we would use for Survivors. The new Soul Runner we would use for Survivors. We've got controllers that we can put in our towers together with aggressors, and buzzsaws for anti-air. What else? how about heroes? Because I don't know, Matt is Corpus, Nick is Sentinels. We do have Mikey as a hero. He's very good against infantry, but of course not against air. So the weakness would be air for Survivor, although we have Screamer, that is something. Next we've got the Sentinel. Sentinel's Cardinal Sentinel. Cardinal's pretty decent in defense. Wait, why can't I not put him in here? What is damaged? When the hell did it get damaged? Outback is also still for Survivor. So we've got Cardinal. We've got no, Pegasus is Corpus. My bad. As a hero, we got Nick. Clearly, Sentinels is going to be Beast with Nick. If it's Sentinels only, we could use Pennons because they will be invincible for 10 seconds. In our towers, we can put Absolvers, and we can put Devout with the Concuss Grenades as well. So Sentinels would be a pretty decent defense strategy. Now, we don't have Screamers, so I'm afraid you will still be easy air flat. People will use the tactic of using like 3-4 aces, attack your base, and then retreat. So, might be difficult. The third one is the Corpus. So for Corpus, we've got the Pegasus. He's super good against air, but he's immensely slow. He's way too slow. So for me, personally, it's kind of a useless unit. What else do we have? As hero, we got Matt, of course. Matt is super good against air. There's also Leonard, but I don't. Can you put Leonard? Oh yeah, you can put Leonard in defense. So there's also Leonard in your towers. Now that is going to be the biggest problem. We don't really have super strong units anymore for Corpus, and our Dracons are not good enough. They just won't do it. And the second, we've got Artemis. Artemis is actually one of the better anti-air units, but you can't go full air. You need ground in your towers. Now we do not have that, unfortunately. So the best unit in our base defense will by far be the Helios. Now, is the Helios only survivable? No, because you've got anti-air that you really need, and you don't really have that. You need Screamer. So we're basically back from the start, because Screamer is a must-have defensive unit. He's a must-have. So we cannot do Corpus, we cannot do Sentinels. We need to do Survivor. So our video started with the question: is it viable to have a faction-only defense? Now we can already say, can we do an all-Survivor defense? Is that possible? Okay, so let's try out this Survivor defense. Now I'm already a Survivor, which is good. So of course you need to change. If you have them, you need to change your. Where the flippers is my defense center? Oh my god. Am I that blind? People, am I that blind? I'm so blind. I know everyone is probably like, right over there. It must be somewhere over here. Here it is. There we go. Got it. You need to change. You probably need to change it into Sledge, although you don't really see it anymore. That it's a specific faction, but this used to be Sentinel, this used to be Survivor, this used to be Corpus, so you need to change it into Sledge just to be sure. Now our towers is going to be a different thing. So for now I've got 2 controllers in there, I got 1 aggressor, and I got a buzzsaw. So all of those are Survivors and should be possible. Now the next thing you would want to do is your tech center, not your tech center, but yes, your tech center, and to your last stand. You do need to change that not into Helios, but into Survivor units. Are they healed up enough already? Probably not. There we go. Oops, 2 are healed. 2 are healed. There we go. So even in these, you would need to do. Well, I can only do 1 Soul Runner, and as well in the last stand in the academy, a bunch of aggressors. Did we forget something? I don't think so. So our towers are done. Our turrets are done. Our last stand is done. Okay, let's check out our base defense. So for now I got Screamer and 4 Helios in there because I want to check out how many Helios does it take. Helios. No, wrong. It's not Helios. It's these. It's Soul Runners. Now we already know the answer to how many Soul Runners, the more the better, clearly. So I'm gonna reset and I'm gonna test out some air, right? I'm gonna do 1 Shepherd because I think 1 Shepherd can already plow through my entire defense, like no problem whatsoever, because that's the biggest weakness of Survivor. They do not have that hero that can take on air. Right, let's speed this up. Okay, so this already started attacking. I'm not sure, there might be Patriots in there. There must be Patriots in there, otherwise they would not target high altitude. Can we attack this yet? No, we cannot, but we're probably getting very, very close. Now, it's so slow, but still, it's going to reach 100% easily even. I will need to change I need to change that into buzzsaws if I can. Well, let's get into it more closely. Oh snap, I can't use those either. I just forgot. I need to change out my drone silos. I'm not sure what I need to put in it. I can't even use drone silos because these are corpus then. Interesting. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna take out my Screamer. So at least Chopper goes a little bit faster. My war production, okay, I'm gonna go a bit sideways. Because clearly he would not go this fast at all. I got as war production, I've got these bad boys running. So let's let them shoot a bit, because in reality they would be going a lot slower. I know I would need to take out the drones in the drone silo. I would need to take out my caretaker. I mean, we could do like buzzsaws here. No, not buzzsaws. What is it called? Those helicopter thingies. And then for a tank, technicals, I guess, or something alike. But as you can see, I can probably just go straight through my base. Yeah, they are weak in air. It's ridiculous. They are so air weak. Like a Shepherd can just plow through it. Without Nick, without Matt, I don't think it's possible. This Shepherd could flat this entire base easy. And then not to mention, you can also get Harbinger out now as well. Ah, this is disappointing. This is hella disappointing. Let's stop. Now, ground would not be a problem whatsoever because of the Soul Runner. But air is a big problem. An immense problem. So, sadly, I will need to report that it's still not possible. Ground is not a possible. Ground is not a problem. The problem is going to be high altitude air. You just can't defend against high altitude air without Nick or without Matt. So to answer the question, is it viable to survive on a faction only defense? The answer is still no, but we are pretty close towards it. Buzzsaws are not gonna kill Shepherd well enough at all. They are so slow. So I'm 100% even in every tower. If there's 2 buzzsaws plus buzzsaws on the ground, it's still not going to be enough to stop Shepherd and Harbinger. I'm sorry, but it's just not possible. The ground is no problem. You got the Soul Runner. They will destroy everything, especially when you're online. It's not going to be a problem. And we talked about the other factions. It's not really possible either. Maybe Sentinels, because of they got Nick. Nick is a beast. But anyways, the answer is no to the question of the video. You can't do a faction defense. You just cannot. You need Screamer for anti-air, and you need Nick or Matt as air defense against those high altitude airs. So I guess this is where I'm gonna need to conclude this video. Question is answered. So as usual, I hope it was useful, hope it was entertaining. Please like, please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.
Didn't even get to cross.